Good afternoon. Today I'll be interviewing one of my aunts on the events of 9/11. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Melinda Moreno. I am 28 years old. I graduated in 2006 from La Jolla. When the September 11 attack happened, I was in 8th grade in my science class. I have 2 girls, and I work at a legacy home agency for a billing clerk.
Where and what were you doing when the 9/11 attacks happened?
I was in my 8th grade science class when they turned on the TV monitors to let us know what had happened.
What was the initial reaction of the classroom, like the setting itself?
Everyone was just shocked, amazed at how the towers were falling down. They were seeing how one tower got knocked down, and then all of a sudden another plane came to knock out the other one.
When did you realize it was a terrorist attack?
That day when they had the school on lockdown, nobody was allowed to leave from the science class that we were in, and nobody was allowed to use cell phones or communicate with anybody outside from the school. Everybody had to stay there until they let us go out to lunch.
What emotions and feelings were running through your head when you saw the events being passed down in the monitor?
I thought it was just in shock, like how many people were involved in it, and it was far away. I didn't seem like too present because I didn't have nobody at that time around that place, but it was pretty shocking how a lot of people were injured because of those terrorist attacks.
Did you feel safe though?
Yes, I felt safe because I guess since it wasn't over here locally, it was farther away. I didn't really fear for my safety.
What is your most vivid memory of that day?
A lot of people like outside from school, that's all you would hear in the radios and the news. It was everywhere. The media, the radio stations at school, everybody would just talk about, well, did you see this? Did you see that? How would it affect? And not only that, like in our history class, we had to write, what would you think if it were to happen here? If there was a terrorist attack here? And we had to write an essay about that for U.S. history.
Do you know someone who was personally impacted by the attacks?
At the time of that attack, yes. My mom currently had a boyfriend in New York City, and he videotaped how the towers were coming down and all the noise that was going on in the background when he was working at a construction site. So it was the videos themselves were pretty, like you could see all this black smoke. You couldn't see the sky. You couldn't see nothing. Like you couldn't even know where they were at, their surroundings. You couldn't see the buildings either. Everything was covered in dust, cement. That's all you could see. Debris.
How did the government react to the attacks?
They were in shock, and they became more united, and they had more security, more surveillance videos, everybody working together to see where will be another attack, like try to avoid that situation again.
Do you agree or disagree with the decision to invade Afghanistan?
Yes, I do agree because the terrorist attacks came from there, and it was best to find out what they were planning, how they were getting their weapons, what else were their other attacks, if there was going to be any more involvement over here in the United States. So I think it was good for us to go over there. But at the same time, we lost a lot of people for going over there and invading their country.
Do you agree or disagree with the invasion of Iraq?
I agree with it. The same reason to find out what was going on over there, what were they planning, and when they found Osama bin Laden, that was a good thing too, because he was the one that was planning out and having people issue where to attack, when to attack, and that was a good thing to go over there and capture him.
Do you believe that our government has done enough to keep us safe?
No, the government has not done enough because currently situations still occur. Like most recently in New York, there was a bomb threat from a crock pot that was connected to a cell phone, and that was just recently down the street in blocks. So no, they haven't done enough to secure the people, because again, it happened in New York, and now again recently another explosion happened. So no, they haven't done enough.
What are some suggestions that you think our government should improve in order to keep us safe?
Well, they should just not announce much what they plan on doing. Like from this recent attack, they were saying, well, we're going to be looking at footage, we're going to be looking at who was there, what are the surroundings. They shouldn't be announcing to the public what they're finding or what they're looking for, because that's just advising them, being aware of what to do, what not to do. They're precautioning themselves right there.
Has September 11 attacks changed you in any way?
Yes, that like it can happen anywhere, but at the same time, I don't fear for my safety because it hasn't happened here locally, but I could just imagine how it would be if it's here locally, especially since we're so close to the border. Like a lot can happen here too.
How did the September 11th attack change our country and our world?
We became more united, separated our religious beliefs, trying to help each other in the hardest times, and trying to become more secure ourselves for our lives, for our safety, because it can be taken away really easily.
So you would agree that because of the September 11 attacks, our world became
More united?
united?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Something that really grasped my attention while interviewing my aunt was how she said how people would put the religious difference aside and put the race difference aside, and we all how just came together to support one another and comfort one another in a time of need and in a time of desperation, in a tough situation, and how people were willing to give up their lives and just to save someone else. And that really sunk in.